Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi. Am I looking forward to the stream even though there was scuff last time? Actually, yeah. The scuff was wonderful in the end because I got 2 SSRs during GSSR in Fate Grand Order, so the scuff luck actually added up. And if I can get multiple SSRs in a single pull, I mean not a single pull, but a single multi-pull, that just means that the scuff luck is worth it. Like for reals. And yeah, we got it this time. Like, oh my goodness, this morning was kind of fun though, for reals. Woke up from some chickens making sounds, but I got to catch up on sleep, which is good. And right now, Dad is cooking for some nice Thanksgiving meal. Unfortunately, I might not have mashed potatoes. I love mashed potatoes, it's a rare treat, but it's okay. Because I think he's making scallop potatoes, I'll be satisfied with that. If anything, I can get myself some mashed potatoes later, or I can mash them up in a bowl. I'll makeshift mashed potatoes. Depending how I feel. But without further ado, let us go for the story. Fingers crossed, though, that there actually be no scuff. So I'd rather there not be scuff. Yo! 15 hours, that's a good amount of sleep. Holy cow. I think I got at least 8. Something like that, because they were chicken sounds. And then I tried to fall asleep after that. We'll go from here. Theresa is fighting for authority over originium itself. Also, I have a nice drink with me. I have a Monster Energy Ultra Strawberry Dreams drink. So let's see. The vision of Theresa and Theresa's goes beyond the limits of all knowledge on Terra. I can't let originium become a weapon of mass destruction. It's for summoning stuff, not for breaking things. There are no more questions. Kelsey gazes at you silently. You've been through too much together. So you can talk normally after all. Not just all that crap about suffering. My door just opened. Let me just close that real quick. Because I accidentally broke my door like a few years ago. I'd never fixed it or told anyone about it. But sometimes it just doesn't close properly. I gotta close it real quick. Ooh, hello. Happy turkey. Okay. There, close the door properly.
I was human once. Humph. I had raged against many things in my long existence. The invasion of the ancients, the betrayal of the Sancta, and the fall of Kazdel, and my rejection by the myriad souls. Until I came here and learned the true nature of the myriad souls, all I feel now is sorrow.
And you stop making sense again.
Did you not see the myriad souls on the Golden Ocean? All Sarkas struggle against the injustice of fate their entire lives. There is no release, even in death. The myriad souls are only broken fragments of information that linger in the space, imprisoned in another manner by another will. But Her Highness said that she would purge purgatory and bring salvation to all Sarkas.
You seem to be able to communicate with this old guy, Kelsey. Why don't you translate what he's saying?
Is Theresa already able to modify the information within Originium? This was her promise. Theresa keeps her promises. Ah, finally. Theresa.
What did you say? Where is she? Amiya, the shadow on your feet! Do I think Theresa's doing this with a clear mind or doing this following Theresa's command? Maybe a mixture of both. But I feel like this is something that she'd wanna do. Shadow? How could I cast a shadow when there's no light? No, this is not my shadow. Amiya looks down and sees the striding white silhouette through the sky that she is standing on. Sky and beyond sky. Theresa and Amiya, reflections of each other. Amiya. Amiya hears a whisper. She looks up, and Theresa is standing by her side. She takes Amiya's hand. And then back to the battlefield. Damn, the battlefield. It's changing again.
Vina, the ground. It's rumbling.
Ear post, Hannah. Don't get distracted.
The thing above the shard had just released some strange form of energy. If the size of King's fells... Remain alert. Allied Command is reporting at least 7 coordinates where sudden changes in terrain have occurred. 3 assault ships belonging to the Duke of Abercorn reported destroyed. Communications were lost with 2 forced recon units under the Duke of Ashworth. Order all units to stop attacking. Hell C-9. Scatter to the sides or will be swallowed by the waves of originium. Got it. Everyone's moving. And we've got another really bad news. It looks like someone's sitting on the empty throne in the Notchsayer camp. The Notchsayer King is back. The fog, it's getting thicker. The Sarkas are coming back, are striking back. Horn, you and Bagpipe coordinate operations with the Allied Command. You're more familiar with the Army's commands. The other units will support us.
Ooh, hello, hello.
Lose this pass, and we'll lose all ground that we took. Roger.
I'll help.
I'm getting used to dealing with this stuff.
Captain, look.
The Glorious. It's crystallizing quickly. The Sarkas are besieging it. The Duke of Castor is still in the ship. Victoria can't afford to lose another Duke in battle.
The sound of electrical static, and the same voice is heard all over the communications channels on the Victorian side.
Attention, all soldiers of the Alliance. This is the Duke of Castor in command of the Glorious. You see as I do now that the Sarkas tyrant has torn our motherland apart. The malice and barbarism of our foe merely serves to strengthen our resolve to defend our country. As long as our ships and soldiers, as long as we all do our duty, this is the resolve of Parliament, and every citizen, Duke or commoner, general or soldier, our foe climbs the broken bow of the Glorious once more. Originium threatens to devour our fortress. But you have not yielded, brave soldiers. Neither will Castor. I shall step up to the front lines and stand with you. We stand on Mother Victoria. The Duke of Castor is he mad? The Steam Knight went mad a long time ago, Hannah.
Did I see that right? Did the Steam Knight just smash into the Glorious?
No, he smashed into the almost crystallized stone of the sword and size of kings. What is he trying to do?
Steam Knight do what Steam Knight wanna do.
He wants to save his Victoria.
Let him cook. Let's believe in him. Even the frightened soldiers in the rear heard the unusual sound from the Glorious. The armor patrols the stone of the sword, trampling every Sarkas who attempts to approach it. But he could contain the spread of originium.
Victoria!
He roars. He smashes the ground, but there is nothing he could do to stop the originium from swallowing the round blade. And so he charged at its foe, towards the Glorious devoured by originium. Originium crystals shatter. The shock sends the size of kings flying, landing at Venus' feet, before countless eyes wide with astonishment. Vena pulls out the sword that has been with her for so long. She points it at the charging foe and spreading fog. Not one step back. She is answered by the call to charge and the sound of blasting steam. Hey, nice pass. Hey, Theresa. You've grown. Her tone is as gentle and mild as Amiya remembers. But Amiya knows that this is not the same Theresa as the one who had once held her in her arms and told her stories all night. Amiya had so many questions that she had hoped to find the answer for when they met. But she could not say anything, ask anything. Theresa would not permit it. Shh. I can hear the questions within you, Amiya. But I can't answer them. All answers, all explanations are pale and powerless. Our reunion was the product of an accident. Perhaps I was looking forward to this moment too. You, Kelsey, W, and Doctor, you stand before me. I'm sincerely joyful for this reunion. You feel it, don't you? Why? She should have been sure. She should not hesitate. The one before could not possibly be Theresa. Why then does she look exactly the same as Theresa? Not just in her appearance, but also her expression, her eyes, and the emotions. You're not Theresa. Do you truly think that, Amiya? The Theresa I know would never do something like this. Enough, Your Highness. Damn, I came here thinking that I had thought it through, but I couldn't find any words other than Your Highness before that face. I remember you. W. Ha, you remember me. There's no greater honor I've won in my entire career as a merc. I would have run up to hug you if circumstances were any different. But you don't know, and you don't need to know, how many times I've said goodbye to you already. This might sound sentimental, but you were special to me like no one ever was. You showed a wandering mercenary sights that she never thought she would see. So the only way I can repay you is by putting you to rest. Is that so? You still call me Your Highness? You still remember that I'm the King of Sarkaz? Then the only thing for me to do is to protect the Sarkaz. What did Theresa just do? Amiya turns around to see that everything has changed. And of course Theresa would want to protect the Sarkaz, but I'm not sure if actual Theresa would want to do it like this, you know? But kind of, sorta. It's like she has the right attitude, but, I don't know, girl. The white pillar has grown at a breathtaking rate. The immeasurable tower of infinity now falls at breakneck pace. The only place she stands upon, only around Theresa, is their eternal peace and silence. This tower is beautiful, Mia. It will continue to grow forever, breaking through all limits, and hold up the heavens for the garden that will rewrite Sarkaz's destiny. I wanted you to see it, but you are not permitted here. Accidents must be eliminated. When you stand before me, you're the enemy of the Sarkaz. No. A black crown appears above Amiya's head. I won't allow that, Theresa. Uh-oh. Oh no, am I fighting Theresa already? Well, I guess I'll find out right now. Let's go! Ha ha ha, I have Amiya on my team, so this should be fine. Maybe? We weren't imagining it. Heaven and earth reversed in the blink of an— Oh wait, same thing? I just went through this, so let's just... It's not skipping the story. I went through that. I literally just went through this. Like the recap after the recap. Even though it does feel weird pressing skip, but no, it wasn't. It's not like that, I swear. It wasn't the true skip. It was a fake skip. Oh. Oh no. Oh, I don't like this. Ew. Ew. No. No, no, no. Well, time to bring out a healer. I'm sorry, Myrtle. I'm so sorry, you're just here to suffer for now. And ooh, this way. This way for this one. Oh, look at those guys. Let me just choose violence right now. Thank you, Texas. And which way do I want to face? You know, this way's actually decent. I get most of it, so I won't complain. And now, alright, let's do this. Get them goons! In the normal and challenge mode, most people who just play the game for the gameplay, they cuss at Theresa, but why? Theresa's amazing! But then again, if they don't know who she is, they're probably like, Who is this beach just standing there with her floaty orbs? But knowing the truth, it's like, no, I don't want to fight her. If I could, I would not fight. But let's see if I can get her off the field as soon as possible. Let's just end the suffering. Oh, and of course, she's gonna have a second phase. I should never expect anything less. It's Theresa after an— oh, look, even more floaty dudes. Well, I'm gonna get rid of her soon. Good thing it's just story mode. The actual fight I imagine being way more difficult. But as it is right now, it's fine. Okay. Let's go! I didn't need a heal like that. I just felt like it. It was a want, not a need. Go get her. Wait, again? She's like, this is not even my final form. Round 3 for Theresa? Oh, wonderful. Lovely. Oh, no. Wait, what? Mission completed? I only got, what was that, 30-something enemies? That's fine. Cool. The roaring golden ocean smashes against Rhodes Island. The Sovereign's will sinks into the sea of infinity, then rises up again at the only ship upon the waves.
Will the echoes of the kings never cease while the voices of myriad remains? No. It is not just the roar of the myriad souls that is causing this. The tower. It's trembling. The tremors at the root have stirred the tides. You've encountered them. I could not see the end of this tower that stretches beyond the heavens, even if I etched incantations into my eyes. Originium has obstructed my sight. Is this your way of telling me that it is not my battlefield to intervene?
The waves answer the Banshee's call. The Sovereigns beckon.
I will not yield. I promise with my song, to they who have gone beyond to the other side of the tower. Ever shall Rhodes Island be our terra firma. Never will it sink beneath the waves.
The young Sarkaz raises his bone pen and steps towards the void, writing incantations upon the waves. The waves attempt to break free of their shackles, but the Banshee is silent. He peers up at the sky, listening to the sound of the tower trembling. He knows that the king and king are clashing against one another, beyond where his eyes could see. It's king versus king and royal court member versus royal court members.
This is your war, Mia. It's not my place to intervene. I can only pray for your safe return.
I can calm the angry roar of the myriad souls, but the only true answer lies in cutting off the source of all of our suffering. What is suffering to a Sarkaz? Is it the brief respite by the only candle in the dark mines after a long day of working in ice and snow? Wait, another challenge is approaching? Uh-oh. Is it the murder of the children of the Sarkaz and Iliberi, who truly love each other, committed by the fanatics of the frontiers solely out of fear for their appearances? Or polishing our horns day after day, spending our entire life living in fear, wearing a Cabernet disguise? A Sarkaz may encounter countless forms of injustice and suffering in their lifetime. Injustice has become the norm, the entirety of their lives, such that when they are asked what suffering is, they could not answer. Atop the tower, the pure white figure gazes down at you. The King of Sarkaz. You've spent so much time with that courteous girl that you've forgotten the implications of this title until now. Theresa was not the King of Sarkaz simply because of the crown. What kind of strength, wisdom, and cunning does it take to convince all Sarkaz to willingly, gladly call her their king? Massive energies rush out from the tower, forming white threads and silk that stretch on and on without end, permitting no resistance. Ooh, hello, hello. Hey, happy gobble gobble day. I can't wait to eat later on today. Dad just started cooking. He was watching football in the morning. I have never seen arts of this kind. None of the stories about Theresa ever told of anything like this. I've never seen any arts of this kind.
Before she was a king, Theresa was a caster the likes of which is only seen once in 1,000 years. We're on her home ground. This is not witchcraft nor any power of the King of Sarkaz that I know of.
You sure, Therese? You sure, Kelsey? You sure?
She is reconstructing and utilizing the information inherent within Originium. Observe and understand what she's doing, Doctor. Help Mia and W resist her attacks.
I'll try! This suffocating presence. The feeling of impending death. She truly wants to. No, there's no way. The real Theresa would never. The real Theresa? She cannot help but mock the ridiculous notion. She casts her eyes at the familiar yet impassive Theresa. Sarkaz expletive. Only one thing to do. Damn it. These strange limits she set have made my bombs useless. We're all done for if this thing keeps falling. Do something, hag! Ordinary measures are of no use here. Not even originium arts. That doesn't mean she can be defeated, at least. You mean the bunny? She looks towards Emiya, still resisting the overwhelming arts. A black crown floats above her head. The power of the king can break through the limits of originium. I don't have a clue what you're talking about, but right now, I guess I've gotta trust you and the bunny. Thank you, W. W realizes that she started believing in Emiya a long time ago, as she did on the burning command tower in Chernobog, when the bunny delivered the box with the key in it into her hands. She believed that the city would stop. W looks at the girl. She almost sees Theresa. Theresa chose Emiya. The one Theresa would not disappoint Theresa. The one Theresa chose would not disappoint Theresa or W. If you're all bound up in the myriad souls, I'll blow the myriad souls to pieces. She begins to move. She never hesitates or doubts herself. The only thing she feels is excitement the moment she came up with the brilliant idea of blowing those blasted myriad souls to pieces. As she does whenever she goes into battle. Bunny! I know you can hear me. Don't turn around, focus. Use your magic rings to link me directly to the Sarkas expletive myriad souls. What? You can do that, right? I know the commissary did something to bind the myriad souls to your highness. Let me hear what the old garbage told her. Then I'll blow them to pieces. Then I'll find a chance to talk to your highness. I'll try. Just be careful. Enough talking, I'm ready. I believe in you, W. Go beat up those them boomers. Make the boomers go boom if they're brainwashing her. W hears voices innumerable, but it's not what as she had imagined. She thought she would hear angry roars like the revenants, but the voices are far calmer than she expected. Oh, are they like that one nice guy who can never die? The kind guy in the cave? They quietly tell of countless lives and deaths of Sarkas. The sighs of relief when drifting farmers finally find a land to settle on. The last pleas of infected thrown alive into the furnaces. The futile haul of dying soldiers forced to watch their city conquered. The helpless cries of hungry children lying weakly on their beds. So many different upbringings and circumstances, all bestowed a tragic fate just because they were Sarkas. Their joy, their anger, the emotions, amplified by the span of 9,000 years. If this was what Theresa was always listening to, why? Was it the myriad souls will that the twin kings came to be again? Was it their will that sent the Sarkas into this war? The Sarkas engrave their sorrows into the myriad souls, and the will of the myriad souls leads those who come after on a similar path. This is a tragic cycle. Hate ignites hate. Sorrow reflects sorrow. Is that all? W feels like she is being swept along by a rapid current. Her life is also amongst the voices of the myriad souls. I will detonate things and defend things. I will destroy things and direct things. They're living, breathing people, W. I don't need you to tell me, Inez. Hodor taught me the difference between people and things. Yes, W has seen all that the myriad souls speak of. No one knows the life of the Sarkas better than she does. She has seen plenty, from the scar market of Kazdel to the ships of Babel, from the ruins of Chernobog to the battlefields of Londinium. She has never contemplated the meaning within, for what she must do is far from complicated. Need shelter against wind and rain? Light a fire, build a tent, enemies in the way? Shell them, bomb them, whatever it takes. It was never the murmur of the myriad souls that kept her going, but the tiny speck of light ahead. W keeps searching, and finally finds the voice that she wanted the most. All of you deserve to live. Yes, you too. I remember you, mercenary. They gave you the codename W, didn't they? Your Highness, we meet again. Whether you're the real one or not, I don't exactly have a choice, do I? Now I remember why you captivated me. The king of Sarkaz, yet so unlike the Sarkaz. You showed me that the Sarkaz need not be miserable. So let's forget the myriad souls for a while. W. No need to shout, Bunny. I know you're there. You were peeking into my memory, weren't you? If Ines was still around, she would have... Bah! No time to think about that. Maybe I can't barge into a fight between the kings of Sarkaz, but I can break Her Highness free from the interference of the myriad souls. W can feel her connection with the myriad souls with the help of Amiya's arts. Emotions converge before her, emotions that belong to her. Joy. Regret. Anger. Relief. The black crown magnifies her emotions. She recalls her past, savoring her experiences. Coming face to face with my entire life. Interesting. Is extracting myself from the myriad souls the only way I get it to quiet down? The emotions take shape, and she grabs a colorful object in her hand. It is her emotions, the experiences of her entire life. Intangible threads that stretch from the self to the chaos in the distance, the myriad souls. Is this what you do with all the time, little bunny? What you see is probably much better than this. Her Highness, she looked at me like this once, didn't she? Thanks, Amiya. W points her gun at the myriad souls. Watch, Bunny. Watch how my presence gonna surprise Her Highness. Surprise! The tower has stopped trembling. You attacked the myriad souls directly. No one has ever managed to interrupt their voices. I'm surprised at what you have achieved, Amiya, W. But why? Why does Theresa look completely unaffected? Your Highness. W, come back! What are you trying to do? There's something I have to know. Maybe Her Highness will listen to us. She stops. Theresa sees her and she sees Theresa's expression. Maybe. I see what you're thinking, W. You believe that the will of the myriad souls has warped my judgment. Pretty much. We have copium here. Copium and copium. Not that I sympathize with the Victorians. I don't think your original goal was to help Theresa make this originium that turns all of Terra on its head. Maybe you can just pause this thing for a moment. Let us get out of whatever this place is. Then we could talk about how... The W I remember wasn't one to offer truces like this. You're afraid. Shouldn't I be? I pick my fights too, you know. No. You're afraid that the beacon you have followed for so long is nothing more than an illusion. You're afraid that you might be the one to break that facade. But you must face it. What? There is no wind in this place, but the static air begins to flow. Clouds gather and disperse by the tower, soft and light, like white flowers brought to bloom by the wind. Theresa stands in the middle of the sea of flowers, and a symbol begins to appear at her feet. A rhombus. The symbol's appeared again. You recognize this, Dr. Misaki. ... Her voice is confident. It is as though, here and now, or perhaps in the distant past, your emotions and memories have been tightly linked. You're familiar with the symbol. Why a rhombus, though? It exists everywhere in this universe, within originium. Most of the time, it hangs in the heavens, seemingly a harmless source of light. W and the others would not think much of an unusual star in the sky. But you know that this is not right. If heaven and earth could be reversed, how could this star be a planar figure? I share with you now the universe in my eyes, Dr. Misaki. If destruction is the boundary that no life may cross, and all exploration and evolution must eventually reach an end. Ooh, hello. Then this is our only future. The rhombus. The symbol of originium.
Whatever you just recalled, Dr. Misaki, don't go any further. This is dangerous, very dangerous. Don't look at the rhombuses. Don't let them notice you.
Rhombus-senpai, don't notice me. Don't worry, Kelsey. The tower is safe for now.
Theresa, you took the most dangerous step after all.
I still remember the knowledge you and Dr. Misaki shared with me. Kelsey, has the garden near Casdale turned back into wasteland?
I went back to check on it once. Many storms had passed through. Active originium had reshaped the landscape. All the entrances were covered in originium clusters. It was impossible to tell if our experiment site had been destroyed or not.
It's fine. Just some beautiful but impossible dreams. Let them fade away in storm. Our goal can only be achieved here.
The inside of originium.
You described to me how the reverse, the assimilated universe, to utilize, even alter the information inherent in originium. Through the shard and the cradle that hangs high in the heavens, I finally set foot in the land where truth lies. The golden ocean sits tranquil above our heads. All information is within us, free from the restrictions of space and time. I did it, finally. The Sark has retrieved the first originium from deep within the land 10,000 years ago. It has returned to the Sarkas at long last. In time, Kazda will truly become a garden free from the torment of catastrophe and oripathy. Will you still oppose me despite all that? I remember the dream that Theresa described to me. A safe and equal home where originium is truly under control, and there is no oripathy or catastrophe. No schism between the infected and uninfected. But soldiers are still dying on the battlefield. Innocent people are still being driven from their homes by war. Does this home still have room for people other than Sarkas in this plan of yours? I'm sorry. Then originium will not be the hope for the eternal existence that you once dreamed of. It will only become a weapon for the Sarkas to bring even more destruction. This was not Theresa's dream. You're right, Amiya. Then we must become enemies. That's why you must keep going. Theresa? The erstwhile King of Sarkas, builder of Casdale, and supreme leader of Babel stands before you. Overcome me. Vanquish me. Aw, it's become one of those you either die the hero or live to become the villain moments. I shall fulfill the King of Sarkas' duties to the bitter end. I shall fight for the sake of the Sarkas, as I have for centuries. All who stand before me, all who try to stop me, are the enemy of the Sarkas. All those dreams and promises that I could not fulfill, you can. No, this is not your will. I heard it. Look out! Black tide clashes with black tide. King clashes with king. Amiya's black arts are reduced to nothing the moment they touch Theresa. Black threads are pulled away from around Amiya, reconverging in Theresa's palm. Countless white threads rush out from Theresa's hand. They tightly surround Amiya, like a soft dress or a blossom whose blooming process has been reversed. Bunny! Theresa's silhouette fades in the smoke of the explosion. Where she had stood, the outline of the thorn-shaped crown becomes increasingly distinct. Didn't work? Is that the power of the King of Sarkas too? This is the power of originium.
She did it. Theresa's emulating the black crown with the originium.
This is far beyond the powers of the King of Sarkas that I'm able to wield. Dr. Kelsey, behind me. I'll protect you. Theresa. Theresa. She promised to take me outside to pick flowers today. Where is she? In the meeting with the doctor? Or visiting the wards of Dr. Kelsey? Theresa's busy. I shouldn't disturb her. I'll go to the cafeteria and go get lunch for her. The sun shines brightly on the spotless deck. The wind is warm, mixed with the smell of wilderness and flowers. Amiya. This is... The cottage girl turns around and sees her one-time self running happily on the deck. This is... the Civilite Eternal System. This is your memory, I can see it. You hear the whispers of my heart, know everything I'm thinking about, and vice versa. You remember it all. You were always the same Theresa all along. It's been a while, Amiya. I'm very happy to see you all grown up. I'm really happy to see you again. Give me a little bit of time. I want to take a good look at you. I've always wanted to know how things have been for all these years. I can see them. All the fighting and the loss that you've experienced throughout the journey. I see it all. All I want is a little more time. What is it that you're looking at? She casts her gaze towards the distance, but there was nothing on the deck. It was such happy time. I thought you were an unfortunate child who needed to be cared for closely, but it was you who brought so much comfort to Rose Island. It took me a long time to realize that meeting you was the luckiest thing in my life. But why me? Let's go out for a walk, shall we? Where are you going? This is... my home, Casdell. I always wanted to take you here. You told me many stories of what happened there, but Babel never made it back to Casdell. There was no need for questions. Amiya feels Theresa's every choice, every struggle. I understand that war now. You had no choice. We've already made a choice when we say there was no choice. I had to choose a path that was better for Sarkaz. This race has been through too much hardship. Every step it takes is heavy and labored. If Sarkaz needed someone to show them a new path, she would take up the banner first. If the price of Sarkaz's unity was the death of their king, she would be the one to step up. The protector is inevitably also the persecutor, Mia. As we gain, so do we take away. The Theresa I knew always chose a path of peace. That's what Babel and Rhodes Island are for, isn't it? Babel exists because of all of you. The watchman who carries the burden of civilization, the sage who holds a key, the genius mercenary who gains free will, and the innocent child compassionate for all life. And Logos, Mantra, Scout, Ace, countless souls that shine so bright. You've overcome the barriers of race, upbringing and disease. You share a sincere friendship and unwavering dream. Through the tribulations of war and the obstacle of reality, you continue to stand together and stand by me. That was how Babel was founded. It was never I who made you members of Babel. It was you who made a clothes maker who picked up a crown. One of the countless kings of Sarkaz, Theresa of Babel. You can achieve what I could not. Thank you, Theresa. Will you hear me tell one more story, Amiya? Not an epic of heroic warriors protecting their home, nor a legend of a king of Sarkaz's reign. It's a story of an ordinary Sarkaz girl who lived a little longer than the ordinary person. Born in Casdell, she saw the few families and friends she had suffer in constant cold and hunger, trembling in fear in the darkness every night, waiting for the sun to rise again. She wanted the people around her to live in happiness, to have a safe home. She would do anything for this. She remained ever true to this wish. Then why? Why must we fight you? Not every meaning has a beautiful ending, Amiya. I've left once. This time, we have another chance. We have the chance to say goodbye. You saw the myriad souls, Amiya. They struggled against fate all their lives. They don't want to be used and imprisoned even until death. The same is true for me. You must defeat me, Amiya. Only then can you carry on my unfulfilled dream. Only then can you release me. They should not exist, Amiya. You remained the good girl that I saw the first day we met, no matter how much you went through. Perhaps you would not have to bear with so much pain if you weren't so brave, so gentle. Is this that day? You held me in your arms, told me stories until... Theresa, can you stop? I've stopped, Amiya. I'm not reading your memories. So, this is my own power. We're still inside your memories. Yes, Amiya. I'm sorry, Theresa. I couldn't help myself. It's not you who should say sorry. Becoming the king of sarcasm means carrying the emotions of the many, but the emotions that belong to ourselves are there as well. I've lost much in my life, Amiya, but I don't have many regrets. The only regret I have is you. From past to present, I never wanted to leave you. I'm happy about your growth, but I should have been there for you. I should have been there to teach you how to use the powers of the King of Sarkaz. Now, though, is your chance to prove to me, the erstwhile King of Sarkaz. Heat saps at reason, flame scorching the soul. A sword forms within the flame, taking shape in Theresa's hand. Wrath. That's my sword! You will hear the seething anger of the Sarkaz sovereign when you hold the sword in your hand. You have grabbed the sword from the wrath of the past, which once declared war upon injustice. The sword of the King of Sarkaz shall ever point towards the enemy of Sarkaz. The sword of the King of Sarkaz shall ever slay the enemies of Sarkaz. But we have come this far, yet prejudice still lives, and hostility threatens to smother us. The King of Sarkaz of the past have failed. The Theresa of the past has failed. Amiya sees it all. Theresa wandering the darkness, seeking an answer. Theresa standing in the hills of the airship, gazing down at the battle below. Theresa walking up alone from death, no friend or comrade around her. Theresa pointing her sword at a child. Such sorrow. Amiya could barely move under the overwhelming sorrow. Now you hold a sword as well. Amiya feels a weight in her hand. The sword which had slain an evil god had returned to her hand. Wormless flame warms her palm. How? Black tides ripple from Theresa, turning into threads that lead Amiya's hand. The sword points at Theresa. This is my final gift to you, Amiya. Feel my power, my emotions, my will. Make them a part of you. They will be by your side, in my place. The sword in Amiya's hand trembles, but not out of fear or excitement. She can feel Theresa's will fill it. I've always remembered, Theresa. I remember every story you told me, the words you whispered into my ear. I never had the chance to tell you. I'm so glad I met you. And... The sword pierces Amiya's own chest. Amiya holds Theresa's hand tightly, pushing the sword further in. It is not that there is no pain. It is simply that all the pain has been wrapped in a layer of warmth. Tears begin to fall from Theresa's face, falling into Amiya's eyes. The black sword shatters. A warm and gentle power surrounds Amiya's fingertips. It is sorrow, and the purest love. I will inherit the legacy of Sibylle Eterna. I will become the King of Sarkaz. Aw, Amiya gets the power of love. That is truly sweet. No sorrow. Or now there's some sorrow, no hatred though. Love. Ooh. Alright. 14-22. Holy cow, though, 14-21 was pretty long, huh? Now when sorrow blooms. No, it's love that's blooming. Oh. 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 Okay. I'm happy they had a nice talk together. Ooh! Animated? I will sit back and watch. I'll enjoy the show. The flowers are pretty. I love this cutscene, it's so pretty. Aw, the flames burned her pretty new dress. Hey, Teresa's asking to be struck down. I'm just fulfilling her wish.
危ないわね。これ式のことにも私が出張らないといけないの？
You've proven yourself to me, Amiya. You may carry that brand new power in you, but in no way does it mean you hold the strength to surpass me. I won't look back until I see the view that awaits me at the end of this path. This conviction of mine, I inherited from you. I like how W is helping here. Thanks, girl. Ooh, that was big damage, okay. Thanks for that, bunny. Now, let's do what we gotta do. Theresa, I won't stop here. This is sad, though. The ones who love Theresa the most are gonna have to put her down. Amiya, W. I would say Kelsey, but Kelsey's not fighting here right now. She's at least watching. And ooh, this is a lot of damage, Amiya. Bestie, you got this. My power, my emotions, my determination. I won't give up, Theresa. I like how Amiya's crown is not just the black crown, it's black and white now. It's cute. Oh, now that she's floating. What a truly warm flame. Amiya. To me, the cruelest one was that side story babble. Oh, the assassination. Huff, huff. You're here again, Amiya. Look, miss, I drew you something. Huh? I could hear you drawing something on the quarantine cabin walls, Amiya. But I can't see anymore. I've been blind since yesterday. Oh, I know. I'll come in. Don't. I might just... It's alright, miss. I'm infected too, remember? Babble's doctors are close, so I'm sure they'll take good care of us. Miss, give me your hand and I'll draw it out for you. The tiny courteous gently takes the hand of the infected patient, lying on the sickbed into her own. Black crystals cover her entire body, an enchanting originium sheen and circulating inside the crystals. Amiya knows what this means for an infected. She has seen it before. Her finger earnestly traces a shape on the patient's palm. You said the name you got from your parents is a flower you've never seen. I went to ask the doctor and Theresa about it, and they brought me to see the real thing. Can you feel it, miss? I'm drawing it on your palm with my finger. Your name is so pretty. Aww. That's cute. Was my drawing too messy? I can try again. Little bunny, don't you scare me? Huh? Why would I be scared of you? We've just recently arrived at Babel, but I'm fond of you, Mia. We're friends, right? Can you help a friend out? Help me ring a doctor with a bell. I like them to bring me to see... No, to touch those flowers. I want to go with you too. No can do. You're sick as well, so be good and stay here. Then, I'll wait for you to come back. The infected patient says nothing and only rubs Amiya's head. Amiya sees the patient trying her best to bear the pain, and the shiny originium crystals on her arm. Amiya, you just followed the doctor to Babel then. I still remember you sat at the door of the quarantine cabin for a long time, persistently refusing to move. The doctor found you in silence and sat down to join you. You only started crying when the doctor hugged you. I too wanted to hold you in my arms, but I couldn't bear to disturb you both. Amiya, you're a bright child. You knew that infected would never return. She didn't want you to see her leave. It would be too cruel for the child to witness. But she didn't know just how strong you are. I see many things in your gentle eyes. You want to help them. No matter their race or infection status, you see them all as lively, lovely people. It was from that moment I began to harbor a selfish idea. Perhaps you could bear this crown in the future. Amiya's too adorable. And yet it is nice how it was Theresa at the end. Though it does hurt how we had to actually fight her. Perhaps you can go further than I have. I was in no hurry to hand over a responsibility this heavy to you. I thought I had the luxury of time to be by your side as you grew up. I'm sorry, Amiya. I broke my promise. I'm not caught up to the series Shy yet, but if anyone likes main characters kind of like Amiya, very, very empath-like, I can recommend Shy for that reason. Shy kind of reminds me of Amiya when it comes to her love for people. The arts that trapped us in this place, the arts that trapped us in there is gone. Theresa's aura is fading away. Dr. Kelsey, is it over? Is it all over? But what about Omnanom? I'm sorry, Doctor. I didn't find any leads to the primordial originium from Theresa.
We were one step too late.
Omnanom is no longer here. The first originium has been sent away. No more Omnanom. Nom 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 nom.
So you've noticed, Doctor. Can you still see the top of the spire now?
Dr. Kelsey, aren't we standing on? Those huge white pillars are still extending downwards. I can no longer see where they end.
I'm afraid the dust isn't going to settle so easily.
Wait. Where's W? W?
These threads are such an eyesore.
There she is!
Bunny, help me out. Everyone's saying she's gone, but I have to see it for myself.
Pink white threads fork out like branches, attaching and growing on the white pillars. They land on the red roots, wrapping, twisting, eventually covering this tower of infinity completely.
Amiya, I'm not going to regret like I did back then again. At the very least, I hope this time.
I know. The same goes for us. Amiya walks to the silk-wrapped roots, gently touching the soft matter. Sparks of flame drop from the hem of her skirt, leaving clusters of fire in her path. The flames under her do not extinguish easily, but spread to the threads. They continue to climb, replacing the fractured white threads as they wrap around the only tower standing between the land and sky. Threads flutter and fall to the floor. They quickly cover the roots, like a garden in bloom by wind, with flames burning within. Theresa sits among the flower-like flames, leaning on the roots as she looks at the golden ocean in the sky coming to a calm. Amiya, you're so much stronger than I imagined. How warm these flames are. Flames that burn away all decay. You've really done it, Amiya. Well, since that's done, come over, closer. Theresa, Shh. I know what you're thinking in that little mind of yours. Look at the ocean above our heads. The waves we made are calming down. Soon, we'll leave. Amiya, some wishes shouldn't be voiced out loud, because they'll only leave more sorrow behind. No, Theresa. I don't want to leave any more regrets. We all wish you can stay. Even if I'll let you all down again? Isn't it more important to have the people I care about know how I feel? That's what the doctor taught me. You've truly grown up, Amiya. I'll always be with you, Amiya, as I promised you. Originium no longer contains the slightest bit of my own information, but I'm sure you won't abandon the ideals I once hoped for. Is there no other way to let you stay? To save me and end this war? There is no one on this land that will manage to realize every single wish. That includes even the Creator. Amiya, do not lament over the dead. Exercise more concern for the living, especially those who scoff at the notion of hope. But for now, before we leave, let's quietly... Your Highness, sorry, I just couldn't keep it in anymore. Oh, W? Is this a hug from you? Aww! Yay, W gets to hug Theresa. I'm happy for that. But yeah, definitely. Both me and Theresa have lots and lots of compassion. I'm glad that Amiya's able to feel this, though. Your Highness? Your eyes. I can't see clearly anymore. The information flow holding this body together is fading away. But I still have my sense of touch, and I can tell that you're not crying. That's good. Theresa reaches out and returns the embrace, gently patting W's shoulder. Your Highness, you don't mind? Why would I? I suppose worrying about that isn't anything strange coming from you. You haven't changed one bit, W. I can still remember our time back at Babel, when you were hiding in a corner with your camera in hand, hesitating to come forward. You saw me? Of course. Actually, I was even waiting for you to come over for a photo together, but you never did manage to muster up the courage. Your Highness, you saw and even remembered that? Even taking a cheeky picture of me? Not just that, I didn't think the reckless mercenary from back then would grow into the woman before me today. The truth of how the Chernobog and Lugman conflicts were actually settled. The mercenary group giving Manfred headaches for the past few years. And of course, your appearance in this place that shouldn't have happened at all. You can achieve so much more than you imagine, W. You should have realized by now that I'm not so divine as you believe. And you're not insignificant. I don't care if you're consoling me or deceiving me. I'm taking it to heart. Your Highness, you really are always so... gentle. When you first arrived in this damn place, when I saw you, I was so afraid. I want to make up for that missed photo opportunity, Your Highness. Camera, wait. When did it break? That damn... Chalicoa! I'm afraid it wouldn't work here, even if it wasn't broken. W, I know you don't want to leave any regrets. I am the same. I don't want to leave you thinking I break my promises. What? I still owe you a name, remember? W belongs to departed Sarkaz, and a cycle that should have ended. As I said, you deserve a more fitting name. A proper name for a Sarkaz woman like yourself. Well, I did want to wait until the dust settled in Kazo first, but I'm afraid I won't get to see that day come. Wait, Your Highness, hold on, I still don't get it. Give me some time, wait, no, I should be writing this down. Screw it, I don't care anymore, I'm ready. Wizadel? Aw. Aw, so that's where the name Wizadel comes from. That's a beautiful present. Theresa gives Amiya a pretty dress and flames of love. W gets Wizadel. A name for herself. Will it be hard to remember? How could it be? Wiza and Del, right? Del means home. That I know, but Wiza... It means to wish. To wish for a home. Yes, Castel's destiny. Could you witness it in my stead? But Teresa's. Castel's future is in your hands, not mine or Teresa's. You understand when that day comes. Alright, Wizadel. Wizadel. It's engraved into my brain forever. I'll never forget it. I like it. It sounds so much better than the names Hoderer threw at me from his dictionary. Kelsey, Amiya, and you in the hood, heard that? Call me Wizadel from now on, and you better not get it wrong. Also, I just decided to head down to the military commission later and bomb my name out with explosives. That way, nobody will ever forget it. Or maybe the roof's better. I want the flames to spread so far you can see it in... You can even see it from Londinium. Del. I know what you want to say. I'm not crying. I'm shaking because... Why is everyone all quiet now? I can't find the words to say. Go, Amiya. Before she vanishes completely, she'll be happy with you by her side, even if she'll never admit it herself. Doctor, we may be standing against Theresa now, but I have to admit, she has achieved something beyond the limits of my imagination. I believe you as you are right now should have already had some conjectures in mind, even if you're missing your past memories. It has something to do with that mysterious person, Priestess. Theresa, our mission is far from being over, yes? It makes me wonder, what kind of names did Hoderer try to give W when she was W? Or Wizadel when she was W? Hello, hello? That were so bad. Hoderer, how bad is your naming skills? Walter. Oh, that'd be amazing. Hey W, what do you think of the name Walter? No. How about water? No. How about... Wafu dressing? No. Theresa, our mission is far from being over, yes? Have you already handed the first originium to him? Theresa, this difficult problem you're leaving us with is truly... Kelsey, things don't always go the way we want. All we have done is to do what we should, nothing more. Doctor, your appearance before me right now is proof that I won our earlier bet. Theresa, you still hide so many secrets, Theresa. Huh? Doctor, allow me to instill a little bit more suspense. You're still not ready, even now. Even if you've all surprised me, or surpassed me. See the ocean waves billowing? We don't have much time left. I always knew our reunion only meant another parting. My dear Kelsey, since we're all clear out about our respective endings, why should we go through sorrow yet again? Can you come closer? Aww. Theresa stretches out her hand and touches the ends of Kelsey's hair. Here you are. I hope my staunch and strong Kelsey isn't shedding any tears this time either. You're always like this. I'm a very fortunate soul, Kelsey. Every time I leave, I do so with my dearest friend by my side. Thank you. Theresa, she's disappearing. What's that? She's what, Bunny? What kind of nonsense is that? Isn't Her Highness with us right now? I'm even hugging... Wizadel, haven't you achieved what you wanted to do? You met, defeated me, and finally killed me. It's time to let go. I will leave without a trace, and no longer exist anywhere you can see. Theresa, do you mean that the originium will no longer bear any traces of you? Yes, I won't allow originium to become our cage. All that I've strived for is just to free the Sarkas completely. The Sarkas should be free, in both life and death. Destroy something to create a ladder, even if what I end up destroying is myself. You're so different from the Theresa I had in mind. Hello, hello? Dr. Misaki, this is our first meeting, isn't it? What bits have you heard of me? What kind of Theresa do you have in your mind? A founder of Babel? A thoughtless idealist? Or a cold, calculated king of Sarkas? A schemer who instigates war? No, not that. No, neither. Both are roles that others need you to play. Is that so? I didn't think we'd get the chance to say our farewells so peacefully. This is... I've never been here before. Where is this place? This is... A friend bid farewell to me here, a long time ago. I witnessed my friend's death, and from here I began walking towards my own. I like this place, but it is also somewhere I cannot reach or visit ever. It only perpetually exists in the memories of the void, unreachable throughout my whole life. I wonder if we're in this kind of place because, I don't know about you guys, but some other series where characters were about to pass away, they were fields of gold, wheat. I think it's the same kind of thing here. Dr. Misaki, what kind of person do I seem to you right now? Someone who would do everything and anything for the fate of their people. Someone who's chasing after a lofty ideal. I don't know. I'm gonna go for the first one. Someone who would do everything and anything for the fate of her people. Is that so? Quite the interesting answer. You and me, past and present. What is gone and what is to come. Time seems to hold no meaning here. Perhaps we've already said something similar at some other point in time. But what you say isn't completely baseless. I was once warned about my future, but I was clear this was my path to tread. I wouldn't give up, no matter if I lived or died, regardless of place and time. However, the very same words coming from you hold no irony at all. Thank you, Doctor. To be honest, I can't give you a proper evaluation. You're still a conundrum to me. You're cautious, still hostile and worried toward me, just like you were back then. Of course, we stand now on opposing sides like we did before. But no matter, you merely haven't had enough time to figure out each and every single enigma there is. A pity we always had to have our chats when the clock is ticking down so fast. I heard so many stories about you on Rhodes Island. You've done so much. You still have many regrets. You've done so much. My mission is over. Many years ago, you and Kelsey pushed the door open for me to a wider world. Nah, Theresa never failed her duty. She was able to instill, or basically instill what she wants inside of all of us, really. But I was already a sovereign to the Sarkas. I bear their suffering, their fate. My ideals and vision may transcend the sky of nothingness, but the weight of reality still pulled me back down to earth. I was already convinced back then that the person who would change the Sarkas, or even the future of Terra itself, was absolutely not me. It has never been me. A close friend whom I trust the most already predicted this end. And that person is me? Doctor, give me your hand. Yes, I had the fortune to meet your truest self. That person was wise, gentle. Though bearing with the heaviest of duty and wearing the strongest of shackles, that one never gave up hope ever. I'm gratified. You stand alongside Kelsey and Amia now, and so I believe I made the right choice back then. The choices we made on our own have also determined the path to where we are now. But our original meeting in haste was just like this parting between two strangers. Was it not? I can't sense any resentment from you. Resentment? Why? To this day, I still feel only regret and a longing from when I touched the depths of your soul and the unimaginable truth. Yes, it is because I touched the depths of your heart that I hold so much regret. We lost the chance to walk on the same path. Perhaps that person was so fascinating due to an internal conflict no one else can empathize with. Just, what kind of person was I? Speculations, questions. I can't piece together fully what I was. All this contradictory information is making me feel confused and anxious. You know, honestly, third one. Oh, look at the stuff in the background. All the memories. Like a crazy film reel. Haven't you noticed? You don't doubt your decisions now. What shapes your true self? Everything that you've experienced, or your already concealed past. Look at where we are, Doctor. Those silent memories and the truth of everything. Are they not by your side? Originium. Past, present, future. Time is no longer defined by the rules we find so familiar at the end of Originium. You no longer remember. But you told me once that Originium brought an innumerable amount of suffering upon this land, along with countless possibilities, created by hundreds of millions of sacrifices in the era you came from. When you created Originium, what expectations did you harbor towards it and this land? Look at everything recorded inside this golden ocean. Do they line up with your expectations? You see it, Ursus's inferno, Chirag's wind and snow, Iberia's tides. A torrent of information rushes past you, in units of civilizations, from time and space, since time immemorial. You suddenly realize, all the questions I have, all the past I forgot, can be answered and found in this field of Originium. No. 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 You retract your hands. It is all that I've gone through that shapes me what I am today. And not my concealed past. You always have a pleasant surprise in store. Doctor, we managed to meet once more while I lie deep in the sea of information after our parting. It is my past, but it is your future. Though you might still be on the path to find yourself, you still want to prove to me that you're just as I always have been. I wish I could see you find the answers with my own eyes. But I'm sorry, I can't go any further. Doctor, I have to go, and so do you all. If you have no intention of being trapped in this infinite nothingness for all of eternity, that is. Goodbye, Dr. Misaki. My dear friend whom I've never met. Goodbye, Theresa. Theresa! There is no response. The white figure atop the tower has vanished. Nothing remains. Theresa! She's gone. Oh.
Doctor, what did you see?
Theresa told me what kind of person she was, what kind of person I am, what kind of person she was. I found it where Omninom is. We'll leave this place. The waves of information have subsided. Do you still hear the voices of the myriad souls departing, Banshee?
The tower is at peace, Your Highness. The waves are flowing backwards into the hell we cannot comprehend. The flames that could burn even those roots have no way to light up the infinite night. Where will all of you go from here?
An eternal void, a true death. We will no longer stay on the other side, Ephanel. Logos. You should get more used to being called by this name. You've made your choice, the choice of a Rhodes Island elite operator. Logos stands in the endless flow of information, his own figure leaving its mark on the vast ocean. The slender figure of the other side stands in silence. Ripples cause her silhouette to waver, no longer clear. I'm happy it's a bittersweet moment, not just bitter. Like the Babel one, oh, that would hurt more for me. This one, at least we're all having proper goodbyes. Ripples caused her silhouette to waver, no longer clear. When I heard you sound the knell for yourself by the river, I was already waiting for an old friend to appear on the side. A pity Lekra Madeline is still unwilling to involve herself in this war.
Mother, she did indeed rescue me from death.
With an ingenious method, but one befitting her former character, she has also made her choice as you have. I saw you confronting the myriad souls, no less impressive by the time your mother and I stood side by side in battle. I'll have no way of seeing her again. Say farewell to her for me, Logos.
Your Highness, your figure is fading.
Departure is also a form of resistance. This is what we've chosen for ourselves. Originium shall not cage us here for eternity.
I don't understand. Where'd the cage come from? And what do you seek for?
There's no time to comprehend it, Logos. You need only know the trapped myriad souls are now dissipating into freedom via a complicated flow of information impossible to parse. No longer readable, recordable.
A true death. All kings and heroes will no longer respond to my words, and no longer will anyone be on the other side. Your Highness, will the myriad souls still exist after today?
No.
Will there be a ferryman with an array of torches lighting up the other side?
No more.
Then where will our kin go when they leave us?
I don't know. I'm afraid it's too late for me to find that answer. I've walked to the end. And the truth of civilization lies before me in fog. There is no way for me to touch it, but it does not mean that the rest of you cannot cross it.
Your Highness?
I've just unloaded the burden of worrying for the future. What the myriad souls care about is only the sargas. From death comes new life. You understand that? You understand the inevitability of fate, but you have yet to clearly perceive the truth of death. Ooh! Okay, that's actually pretty good. For FGO. I want to raise my bond with Morgan. The myriad souls are no longer our shackles, and originium will no longer be the sin we bear. Logos, our departure also serves as our liberation. No longer will there be prolonged indignant murmuring for a myriad years, nor an unforgettable legacy of suffering to be inherited. For the first time, we have the future that can be changed. For the first time, we have the right to choose.
Hish. Poof. No surrendering here, only death. You don't have to kill me. Just look at the bloody crystals on my body. Ugh. My comrades. They haven't appeared from the fog. I can't live on. I don't want to die. Heh.
The mercenary's blade stops right before it makes contact with the dying soldier. He looks toward the sky and feels something leaving. The impatience to kill gradually fades away from inside him.
Ugh. Did I imagine that? Sobs. Heh.
I have the right to choose, and I choose violence. The Sarkas will no longer need to live for the shackles of history. We will live simply for survival. Resist against suffering the exact same way as everyone else does on this land. No, my ball of yarn!
Got it. Careful, Paprika.
Phew, thanks. You can put me down now, Ines.
We'll find a way to rescue Mia and the rest, so don't panic. Your life is worth more than those few balls of yarn.
But my Nana gave them to me before I left home. Huh? Wait, did you feel that, Ines?
Feel what?
A pounding in the depths of your soul.
I was concentrating on the skeleton. I need to make sure it stays somewhere safe, somewhere no one can locate or affect it. Paprika, what did it feel like exactly? And will it affect any future plans?
I can't say, but from everyone's faces, it seems like it wasn't just me.
You're crying?
Oh, you're right, but why? But what about you? Me? The same as every other Sarkas. Depart, dissipate, die. Please continue accompanying Rhodes Island on their path. There's no need to doubt your decision. Thank you, Logos.
Your Highness, perhaps you may share my doubts on whether the myriad soul's departure will truly allow us to bid farewell to the past. The other side will be bare. But where will the plague of death from this battlefield send the souls of our kin to? Your Highness, I will witness our end in your stead. The ferry is no more, so I shall guide the souls. If they have nowhere to go, I shall be their boat. My voice will set the torches on the other side of flame, and I hereby vow, only when I no longer hear the roaring of my kin on the other side, when our compatriots can rest in peace in this land, will the knell cease to ring.
Ripples form on the golden water as the myriad souls respond. Kings and heroes, regular spirits, or resentful wraiths. They leave with haste. Traces of the Sarkas existing within Originium dissipate.
Now, please allow me to send both you and the myriad souls off.
An elegy sounds from his lips as he readies to walk over the water. The young Banshee sends the myriad souls off. Dang, Logos is so cool. That was the coolest thing.
In distinct Sarkas language, leave. Patriarch, she is gone. Omnanam has bloomed, destiny already in her hands. She honored her vow, so the war will also abide by her. Go, no longer shroud yourself with the fog. Water death with death. An honored departure with victory. Victorious condolences. I shall personally receive it in her stead.
The blue Falbeast pecks at the tears of the white horned demon. She caresses the Falbeast's feathers on its brow. Can Nightingale's inherently empty soul feel the pain of that departure?
Liz, did you feel that? The throbbing in our souls, lamenting whispers echoing in our minds.
The corners of Liz's eyes twitch minutely, unable to respond in her deep slumber.
Shining, is her condition worsening? No, she'll be fine. Margaret, we have to meet with the doctor and the others with haste. Is it because of that thing transforming in the sky earlier? When it began changing, you started acting strange. Is this another Confessorius conspiracy too? No, at the very least, he will be unable to involve himself in this matter for the time being. though it definitely has a link to his schemes. Every Sarkas has probably felt it. The departure of someone extremely important to us all. I can't fully comprehend what exactly you're talking about, but any new accidents in our current situation might affect how the war will go. You're right. The doctor and the rest should have more pivotal information on their end. There's no more time to waste. Let's go.
General.
This place is...
We were cleaning up the battlefield when we so fortunately found you. General, we failed to recapture the life bone.
Am I the only one here? Ascalon.
General, your wounds. We'll bring you back to camp for treatment right now.
No. We missed our chance, and time is no longer on our side. Our top priority now is to return to Londinium and discuss our next move with our plan with the Regent. Contact the spy sentries ahead to cooperate with us, and prepare to cross this war zone.
General, look at the blood dripping non-stop. You're in a terrible shape. The military commission can't afford to lose another high-ranking officer.
I gave an order. This is for the remaining living Sarkas.
Yes, sir. What happened? Impossible. This feeling.
Your Highness, is this the price you spoke of? With the Sarkas' future? From today onwards, there'll be no trace of your existence anywhere, even within Originium. The gods or the arrogant being, professing to be the creator. Will you see them at the end of your path, Theresa? After I felt you brushing past me, your voice has turned harder to hear. All I hear now is from the void surrounding me is muffled, vapid noise. The path ahead is clear, and it's time for everything to end. Theresa.
Can you still hear my voice? I can. Yours, the newborns, the dying ones. Here we can hear the voice of every Sarkas. The souls are stranded in an ocean of unconsciousness, shouting our names before they drown as they await guidance. In a present no longer recorded anywhere in time, the name we respond to the most is Theresa. I can hear the raging rumbling from skeletons that fell from the sea of stars into the ice field 10,000 years ago. Unknown, dreadful, terrifying. We've ended the oppression that was branded into our blood from the time onward. No, we have yet to do so. We questioned ourselves. Did our resistance hold any meaning then? The future will prove it to us. Then what about now? Now we shall go far away. This is my reply. The myriad souls who never gave up resisting until they completely dissipated did one last thing for the Sarkas within the Originium. They fought for a future where everyone has a right to survive, for the ones still alive. Onward, everyone. That day, a certain exhausted Sarkas girl fell into a deep sleep within the warm flames of the Kazdo Soul Furnace for some reason. She dreamed of her mother far away in a foreign country, standing in light within the pitch-black darkness speaking to her. She couldn't hear clearly, but she did not cry either, because she saw her mother smile. Then she woke up, opened her eyes, and saw a pure white flower in full bloom by her head. The black dust from the forge, burning death, landed on the fragile flower petals, but it unexpectedly highlighted the flower's dazzling vitality even more instead. Here, death and light congregate. The girl shed tears at the beauty created by setting death aflame. After that day, Sarkas passing by the soul furnace would see a girl show up every single day to water a flower growing in the originium dust and bones with drops of dew. She offered tribute to the light until the day that the flower withered and died. Aw. Is that how the story ends? Why is it so sad, Theresa? Sad? I actually see it as a happy tale of hope arriving, Amiya. The flower withered, returned to dust, but the seed of new life has already been sown. Did the Revenant get left behind? No, the myriad souls never took in revenants. Even if he regather his thoughts, his intrinsically originium influenced self cannot be reversed or changed. So he was never to depart with the myriad souls. So Her Highness never planned to take him away from here either? I have no way of knowing. Heh. So it's not like Her Highness can't lie. I didn't expect you to end up in my hands, old fossil. Lizadelle, are you just gonna keep him? Are you gonna adopt him now? There's no reason to harm him anymore, W. I told you to call me Wizadelle. Relax, Bunny. I'm not gonna smash him to bits. I'm just taking him with me. He already died once, so it's not hard to guess why Her Highness let him remain here. Up till her death, she always craved for the Sarkas to unite, so her plan for the Revenants is super simple. To first live like people. Well, even if he no longer looks anything like one. You don't have to set everything on fire. Your mission ended a long time ago, so you leave the rest to more capable people. Like me, for example. Bah, just stay in this weapon for me for the time being, yeah? Oh, that's smart. She can use this to power her weapon. Do you still remember the story about the puppet, Amiya? He went into a river of tears and sank into the riverbed. Grief, despair, but it doesn't mean that its true ending set in stone. You can always continue a story for as long as you want. But what's more important is the storyteller. The storyteller. Are you talking about yourself, Theresa? Me? No, Amiya. I prefer the storyteller to be you. Hold on. Do we have to go back to where we came from to leave? Is that possible? We won't have time. This place is changing faster than expected. So, what are you and the crone planning? How the hell are we leaving this place? I'm still trying to figure that out. Takes out explosives. Wizadelle, calm down. Doctor, I cannot tell you how to leave this place. The secrets in here are beyond even me. But I believe Theresa definitely mentioned a piece of key information to you. Now what? Dr. Kelsey, these roots are breaking apart and floating upwards? We'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. Theresa, what if the puppet was never alone in the first place? Maybe his companions were waiting for him down there all along? Just like us, Dr. Kelsey, and you. And everyone in Babel. Little people made of pebbles, white, black, green, red. A whole lot of them. They'll surround the puppet and bring him far away, following the fierce river waters. But where can they go? We are currently falling from this platform. She finally noticed what Theresa has done. This tower is being erased. All the information that was organized and put together here is being broken apart. But I can still feel Theresa's presence here. As if she still exists within the scattered information. Everywhere, although it's vanishing quickly. She's fighting against it, as are the myriad souls. Get your head moving, Hood. Even the platform we're on is breaking apart. Shit! The thing's falling down! Doctor, I got you! Old hag, your little freak isn't here to help you, so stay still unless you want... unless you want to fall and shatter into a million pieces. I have an idea on how to slow down our descent. Hold Fossil, get out of here and help. I know you can do it. I'll wrap everyone up in my arts too. I don't see the land ship. Where's Logos? There's Logos.
The landship got swept away with the ocean waves when it was coming to a calm. But I remain, and I will be your ferry. I told you, Doctor. We will reunite in peace and tranquility.
Thanks, Logos. I got it. I know where the puppet will go, Theresa. The Pebble people will take the puppet along the River of Tears. Misaki. Even if they get dizzy from the river's current, as long as they don't give up and stay together hand in hand, they'll never get lost within the tears of sadness. When you are truly confused by everything, you will remember the answers you seek were here all along. I think I figured out how to leave. Theresa, are you the one guiding us? Doctor! Nods. You and Amiya subconsciously raise your hands at the same time. Within the silent space, a familiar ship rises from the sea of information. The airship that was supposedly shattered into pieces is reconstructed anew according to your intentions, hovering below you. The both of you gaze at the giant diamond shapes in the distant void. Originium, Truth, Priestess, Theresa. It's time we left this place. The airship accelerates forward, tearing apart the void as it enters the light. The puppet and his friends don't know how much time has passed, but they never give up, even though they're super tired. They share the same wish, and when the waters slowed down, they seized a chance to float all the way up. They succeeded, and finally they saw a sea, a golden sea painted gold by the sun. It turns out they didn't just cross the River of Tears, but also a vast ocean they didn't know about behind them. They set foot on land once again. See you, Misaki. I'll be here waiting for you. And there, we made it. Thank you. Oh, look, we made it. We legit made it. Oh yeah. Night goes gentle. Even death may die. Whoa, though I had a decent amount left from last time, huh? Wait, this is Babel? With the help of his friends, the puppet crossed the River of Tears, and even the golden ocean behind them they didn't even know about. Finally, they set foot on land once again, and found the plains of hope. Theresa, do you like the ending I came up with? Of course I do. The puppet's friends. That's my favorite part of your story. But how did that story actually end, Theresa? Theresa? I can't recall ever having this conversation with Theresa, but I've dreamed of it happening countless times, and that the story would finally get an ending it never had, and that the storyteller never left. I want to tell her I already have the power to change how the story ends. The question I wasn't able to answer back then, and the answer I found. I'm willing and able to bear this crown. Amiya!
Metal matter, fall like feather.
There's no way we can stabilize this huge-ass thing. We'll end up a smear on the ground at this rate. Time to get to work, Ancestor.
I'm trying. Regaining control of this ship is no easy feat.
Quit pretending. How are you so good at it when you were working for the military commission?
Insolence! Treat your elders with more respect, young sarcas!
I like this. I'm so used to these haunting old dudes being the ones in charge, but no. It's Wizardell. Wizardell's the one keeping him captive, if anything.
We have to brace ourselves for the impact from the airship's emergency landing. Monster, protect the doctor and Amiya.
Dr. Kelsey, they need me. Ooh, blurry. Amiya, the puppet's friends never give up on him, no matter how they suffered. Whenever the puppet needs them, they'll show up, catch him, and walk him through his troubles together. That's what I wish for too. I hope I'll always be there whenever you need me. She's looking at me? Theresa? But what we go through, things don't always go our way. Some of the little puppet's friends will get lost while on their journey, but their collective memories will accompany their little puppet friend to the end. Amiya, I will always be with you all, regardless of what form I take. Theresa, are you leaving? What are you saying, Amiya? I left long ago. What? You're not Theresa. Amiya, the memories in your dreams are warm, but you should wake up now. Return to your companions, Amiya. They need you. Your journeys have yet to end. How did I end up here? We just left the assimilated universe. I remember the airship returning to our familiar sky, originium crystals covering the entire ship receding like the tide.
This is the most I can do with my incantations. I'm afraid there's no way to absorb all the impact force.
I'm trying my best here. One more time, old coot.
Monster!
Everyone needs me. What can I even do now? Believe in your strength, Mia. I will help you. Every inch of the gigantic ship vibrates in a metallic shudder. The airship's speed of descent slows down once more. She uses everything Theresa has taught her with all of her strength to prop up the monstrously huge vessel. A warm power like a murmur from her dreams encircles Amiya. She feels as if the person who left has returned, hugging her. Theresa. I'm here. Yo! Amiya unlocked her stand! Amiya has never experienced a feeling like this. The Civilite Eterna's power enveloping her, abundant and warm. Is this an illusion? Is she still dreaming? Theresa, is that really you? Well done, Amiya. You have to believe in your comrades and your own strength too. We'll descend slowly. Nice. Every Sarkaz on the battlefield raises their head, as if sensing a familiar aura. The silhouette of a supposedly dead king of Sarkaz appears in the radiance. With a sigh, they no longer see her, only a gentle goddess with a similar form to the person they were expecting to see. We landed safely, I guess. Was that old thing actually useful, or... Bunny? Why do you look like... Wizardell? What about me? Forget it. Did we end up in Londinium? The shard doesn't even seem so far away. Yes, the airship is a huge target, so the Sarkaz station within the city will soon come looking for us. We'll have to evacuate as quickly as we can. Humph. I have something better in mind. Theresa, no, you're not. I'm the one who can see you, right? Theresa's phantom. Oh. Oh. Yes, others can see me as well. Only if you wish it so. Just... who are you? A promise. Theresa promised to stay by your side and watch you grow up. Teresa's gone forever, but she left a program inside the crown. I manifested in this form because of your emotions. A promise, an emotion entrusted into the crown. A will that relies on civil light eternal to exist. Do you have any doubts, Amiya? I can answer them. If Theresa truly left you here as her will, the story about the puppet and its ending was one that Theresa wanted to tell me? Theresa made up the story herself, and there are no records of it in any existing works, so there is no way I can answer your question. So... would she have surpassed her, as she wished? What she wanted to say has already been passed on to you. It's up to you to decide what will happen next in the story. The difference, though. Logos' mom left him a little robot pal of herself. Well, Theresa left her a phantom. What she wanted to say has already been passed on to you. It's up to you to decide what will happen next in the story. Thank you, Theresa.
Did you guys see that? The Sarkis airship fell from the sky. The clouds, they're scattering. The Sarkis can't control the storm anymore. Me and the doctor did it. No matter how short or long this moment of of safety lasts, we must seize the opportunity. Capture Silver Rock Bluffs and advance towards the city walls.
Wrote the Sarkaz.
Today, the second time, we witness her departure. A great king of Sarkaz, a true hero. She initiated an unprecedented grand undertaking for the Sarkaz, and we are witnesses and participants, from the royal court camps to the war council, and to the military commission of today. We will never fall as long as war still goes on. We've already wrested enough victories for the Sarkaz over the past millennia.
He looks up at the dreadful scene in the sky with only reverence.
The Victorians zealously chase after the phantom of victory while never understanding of why we crave war in the first place. From death comes new life. Ha! This war has sated me.
Well, at least he's happy. The 106th Assault Artillery Brigade has successfully regrouped with the 2nd and 8th Battalions of the Duke of Normandy's Grenadier Regiments, 9th Battalion Armored Corps, and the Exemplars have seized control of Hill 92. Anti-witchcraft cannons back online. Mid-range communication has been restored. Your Grace, the battlefield is back under our control. What of him? The Gastro is severely damaged and should still be... Hold on, we just managed to locate it. It's right next to us.
Your Grace, an urgent telegram from the Duke of Gorodin. Have our forces dispatched to Duskglow River. Withdraw at once. Yes, Your Grace. Your Grace. Were we late? All frequencies went down simultaneously. He blinded every single eye of ours. That Duke of Wellington. Many years ago, the Duke by the Duskglow River. He told me a day would come when nothing would be able to stop the advance of high-speed battleships. He's done it.
Your Grace, the Gastro has paused its advance. The Iron Duke's warships are forming up again. 3 light battleships have turned their guns toward...
Isn't that the Duke of Wellington's ship? What the bloody hell are they doing? The Sarkis have only just retreated, but he wants to start another war with the Dukes right away. Has he truly gone mad?
He woke up and chose violence too.
The dead. That fire in their eyes.
The nearby adjacent hill stops in his tracks. The purple fire leaves from his eyes, floating to someplace higher, further away. The shadows and smoke enshrouding the entire fleet of steel.
Your Royal Highness, Iblana, are you ready?
Anytime. Flame falls from the sky, rolling across the flagship's bow, burning the original flag instantly. Similar fires blossom in purple one after the other on every ship in Wellington's fleet.
Huh? What day is it today? What's with the fireworks? Heck, not just that. Isn't that the municipal building? What was it that they just rolled down from up there?
It's a new flag. We worked so hard just for today, you know. So, looks nice, doesn't it? Thank you for this. Thank you for the flower, Miss Reed. It's so pretty. What are you looking at, miss? We're quite a distance from Londinium, yes? Could the ashes from the battlefield float this far? A spark falls on the Draco's fingertip. The fleeting purple fades away, leaving only a speck of dull gray ash. It's hot. Tara, after a century, we finally raised our flag once more on this land. We have proved our strength to the Sarkas and the Victorians. Here and now, no one will be able to stop us, to scorn us. Terrans, my people, they shall become a force that can control the war and shape the land. We shall let everyone see the coming of a new age. The Draco raises her hand, smiling at the land. Every Terran flag flutters in unison. A rich purple coalesces under the clouds. Finally, it stands against the crimson storm and the still flickering golden light. It's just one thing right after another.
He really has no intention of letting us breathe. Wellington, do you truly hate Victoria, or... Your Grace, an urgent telegram from the Duke of Gododin and the Duke of Normandy, as well as the Duke of Fife. Let them sit in their anxiety for a while. Back then, we joined hands to confine this warmonger into a duke's tire. Now, we have no choice but to suffer the consequences of our actions. Go. Fetch the proposal locked away in the first drawer on the right side of my desk. I wrote it myself, before I came to Londinium. Will the Iron Duke be willing to restart negotiations? No, that's not it. Victoria will no longer have an Iron Duke in future. But Castor may perhaps find a new powerful ally. By reforging an alliance with Wellington at this time, this is in our best interests. He knows I will make this choice. He and the King, Gale's descendant, treat war and death like their bargaining chips. We must recognize Tara's independence if we don't wish to go to war on two fronts in this critical juncture.
I like how she had a plan all along. She's just like, I kind of wish it didn't come to this. But since it has, go to my desk, bring out the paper that I already drafted. I ain't got time for this right now.
Our soldiers and people will be furious once they find out about Wellington's betrayal. They won't accept our choice so easily either. Indeed. But what of it? The people have always longed for a hero that descends from the heavens to guide them.
The Duke casts her gaze towards the battlefield net below. The soldiers are excitedly chanting a name in the wake of their fresh, decisive victory. Exemplars.
She certainly doesn't resemble her father. Other than her golden hair. Speaking of which, it's amusing how legitimate heirs to the Aslan royal line have always sport such dazzling hair that you can see it shine from afar.
That'd be a really funny way to find an heir. Like, this kid has dull hair. They're probably not gonna be the one. This kid, though, oh my goodness, that luster, that shine. Dang. You are definitely gonna be the heir. You got the nice hair. The heir with the nice hair.
You mean? Heh. Ah, Alexandrina. That girl might just be Victoria's chosen one.
The ducal fleets are restructuring their formation. They're slowing their pursuit. So that's where the cannons go all quiet. What are they thinking? The Sark has only just retreated, so now's the best time to give them a thrashing. That's Gododin's frigate. They're approaching. The wreck of Castor's flagship. Seems like he's taking the opportunity for a breather. Just that. It's probably because he's scared of the ships going to take so long to repair that the Notchzers will rush into the deck and devour them all. When's the last time we saw Londinium's walls? Are they cracked wide open, covered with originium crystals, or soaked in fresh blood, all covered with dead branches, or even inlaid with the bones of our people? When we got out of Norport, many of us might have thought that was the worst we'd experienced. But afterwards, we saw a deck flooded with blood, and went through a perilous time all thanks to the originium. We watched as the war turned our city into an unrecognizable ruin. Is there anyone who willingly to puff out the chest and say that they can imagine how the city looks like inside? The Duke's spy should have more information than we do. From their conduct, Castor and the others are probably preparing to abandon Londinium. A nomadic city wrecked by Sarkas may be worth less than a fleet formed at a high price. Also, the shard has truly yet to fall. No one knows if the Sarkas have any remaining tricks to try, or if another city will turn into a battlefield. Many more nobles might decide how to move their troops back home. Blast it! I knew they'd pull something like this! Win a tough fight, and then not give a crap about what's gonna happen to Londinium. Yes, as you say, that's what they definitely do. So it's just another ordinary day for Victoria. As for us, we decided long ago that what we should do, haven't we? Siege walks into the crowd. For a moment, she cannot discern if someone belongs to the Exemplars or was saved by them. Everyone is exhausted, but they still hold their heads up high. Siege knows that she doesn't have to say much, because open eyes will not close so easily anymore. Hey, look at the people. Everyone watches Siege. Siege looks towards Londinium, their city, their people. She lifts the hammer in her hand. Exemplars. Advance!
Enough, enough! Please just withdraw the order. The shard is already stocked, so how can we go on fighting? What else can we do now but be smashed into paste by a high-speed battleship? Shut up, shut up! Sarkas expletive, mouth of yours! We're at war, and this is the battlefield. Hide in here all you want, and some feline will eventually lop your head off anyway. Pick up your blade. If we must die, we die with dignity. There's no other way we can go. What's going on? Who else could use the Royal Court's frequency? Whose signal is this?
Hello, hello, can anyone hear me? Oh, it's her on the line. Wizardel's a name. The one and only name granted by Her Highness the King of Sarkas, Theresa herself. Every Sarkas still under the Military Commission's command, listen up. I don't care if you came here after hearing whatever nonsense from Theresa or some Royal Court geezer. I'm delighted to announce the war has ended and you guys lost. But Her Highness says that she wants to have every Sarkas return home. So if you want to live, it's time to ignore orders from the Military Commission and do as the transmission says. Oh, I should have mentioned it earlier. This is Babel. Ooh.
Quick, follow me. This path is safe, and we haven't spotted any sarcasm for the time being. A transmission? Our own exemplar frequency. Disclosure.
I'm listening. Turn the volume up. Some more. Everyone should be able to hear it now.
Wow. Did I hear that right? The siege lady did it. She brought back our people with her, and together pave a way.
A way home.
We've sent a squad closest to their location over. Bang's squad is also on their way. She's the fastest out of them, and can help us ensure the road stays clear.
Right. Next, I just have to find a relatively safe spot for the rendezvous.
No need for that. Misclosure. We're quite close to the city walls. Every maintenance access point is inside my head. Every member of the Self-Salvation Corps who pulled out of Londinium won't forget them. There are some very old passages the Sarkas definitely have no clue about. We can go home. That frequency you care about is active. Judging from their speed, they're practically rushing toward the city. The passages the Sarkas don't know about are only number a few. They'll definitely pick the path closest to Highbury. K-13. Something happened in there before. Base won't risk that with his party. It's probably K-15. If they go through somewhere else, spread some news about munitions factory number 11, and figure a way to lure them there. Same rules as usual. Yes. Clean the path out as much as you can. And don't get spotted when we make a kill, yeah? You're more worried than with these regular workers and the exemplars. You're more worried with these regular workers and the exemplars than you are with the Sarkas. In case something does go awry, could you just let me know if you see them as friend or foe? That doesn't matter. The person they knew is no longer here. The disgraceful traitor died in the Mausoleum of Kings, and is no longer worthy of retrieving the glory they threw away themselves.
She hears a faint familiar sound once more. Again and again, agitating her eardrums and heart. But there is no white steam in the sky at all. Perhaps it is merely the sound of active originium rapidly evaporating into the air.
That armor. Did it fly away? We haven't gotten any news. The Sarkas might have taken it apart, or maybe originium buried it on the battlefield. You achieved your goal for now by leading it to the size of Kings to help the exemplars out, but it's really difficult to control. Do we have to figure out a way to retrieve it? Let's not risk ourselves with that yet. Sure, I mean, it just pops out on its own accord whenever. We know... Who knows what a mad ghost would want to do next? Perhaps. Or maybe, when we next meet, he can find a bit of something that belongs to him.
I wonder where she got that outfit from. It's a nice outfit.
No, absolutely not. You know just how rare it is to find protective gear able to cope with high levels of originium and londinium nowadays. But your price is just too. We have a lot of people in our community who needs these, so can't you just cut it down? You just told me your wife and child have stones growing on them, so they can't bear with the pain. I'll be frank, me too. Every night just gets so bloody painful. I can't catch a wink. I suspect the same goes for everyone in the city. These wretched crystals are growing wantonly in everybody. Not to mention those devils anxiously running amok now. So listen well, my price is fairer than fair. You're worried for your health, but I have to plan for my future. Columbia's private sanatoriums don't come cheap. I know a director there who's a cunning scoundrel, and I only hope he doesn't con me out of my coin. I also have to pay my servants, my chef. What's going on? Mr. Hall, you're currently... Have the Sarkas found us? Hurry, get moving. Head push out all those paupers. Still clinging around our doorway to buy some time. Those devils can't tell whose lives are more valuable. No, that's not it. They're not Sarkas. Blast it, they smashed in our warehouse's wall. Now everyone's rushing in to grab the goods inside and we can't stop them. What do I pay you for? Wear your electrical nets and heavy crossbows. I don't care if you track some sarcasm as long as you keep the goods safe. But they have fire on their side. Fire?
Yeah, fire.
Good day, Mr. Hall. I know you people. Reunion, right? The city has been all abuzz with your group these past few days. Listen to me, Reunion. I don't know why there's a misunderstanding between us. I'm infected too. We're basically family, right? We can work together. Just name a price. How much for you to be my bodyguards? Reunion does not accept employment offers. Then, how about a share of my sales or a donation? I can make a donation as an infected. The city's infected. Need all these urgently. Aren't we the people you fight for? Heh. Donation? A donation? That's not the tune you were whistling earlier. I see. I get it now. I should have thought of it earlier. Ha! Of course. Everyone would want all of this for themselves. You're just capitalizing on another crime. You want to set the score? Sure, I'll begin. Stuart Hall, you applied for a huge subsidy every year for protective equipment because your factory processes originium. But your workers never seen a single garb of protective gear you've accumulated. The infected living in the outskirts of town. Just how many of them were your workers who were kicked out from your factory? Meanwhile, you stuffed yourself with Colombian Pioneer Company meetings. Failing to send all these gear out before the war broke out in Londinium must have cost you a pretty penny. But you still thought yourself lucky. Londinium's done for, and the protective suits you almost deemed as a loss came in handy once again. Just, what do people want? Are you not a group that liberates the infected? Look, just look at the stones all over my body. Physical illness is not the source of the infected suffering. It is injustice. Your luck has run out, Mr. Hall. Because Reunion is here.
He deserves to be bonked.
You're Tallulah, right? I've heard of you. It's all thanks to you.
Just doing what I should.
This is a lot of protective suits we have here. We'll have to distribute them. Even if infection is inevitable for some, this equipment can slow the disease's progression of those already sick. At the very least, they won't suddenly explode into bits from continuous exposure in a high-level originium zone. But most infected choose to hide in their homes, so they wouldn't know who to ask for help if their condition gets terribly dire, right? So let us go look for them. Tommy, you know how dangerous that is. Of course, that odd thing hanging above the shard seems to be gone, and the sky seems to have lightened up a little. Guess the Sarkas are having some trouble. Our blokes are saying a huge amount of Sarkas are retreating to the city. They're also storming the spot where that flying fortress fell. According to the current alert level, going out here is practically suicide. Then you still. We were doomed long ago, right? I understand. My brother lives in County Catshire. You've met him. If I don't make it back, just give my wrench to him. If possible, tell him I was a... Not forget it. Tell him nothing. And also Catherine. My stance towards you, Face, the South Salvation Corps, and Rose Islanders has never changed. There's no meaning in saying that. What's happened won't change. But you can influence and change whatever is yet to happen, kid. Ha! Then, we're all good to go. That's quite brave of them. You've spent quite some time staring at some of those punks. They've turned their backs on us. Reunion nearly collapsed because of traitors. These few fellas didn't shake things up too much. Is there anyone who has never been confused in their life? We have our own rules. There are other places that could use your help, but you'll go over anyway, right? Save your strength, avoid combat. Go get some suits from Percival and keep yourself safe. How did you know? Not forget it. Thanks. That went smoothly. Quite a number recognized you and your fire, Tallulah. I already put the shackles back on. If only they could see my flames with hope. Now, we have a literal city of infected. Can you find a shadow of your former ideals in it? Only rubble and ruin everywhere I look. Even we infected live in our vastly different lives. We suffer from the same disease, but never the same kind of suffering. This is why reunion has to be here. If the infected are born from injustice, then we will stand against all injustice.
Ooh, Chen.
You're finally back. Are you hurt, child? The Sarkas didn't spot you, did they? I'm fine. Thank you for letting me stay here. I brought some food back with me. How are you feeling today? There's more stones, but it's fine. It doesn't hurt. An old lady like me never had much long to live anyway. But a group came by while you were gone. They're good people. They gave me a checkup, and I asked them to come back in a bit to examine you too. A checkup? Were they doctors? Rhodes Island should be in the city by now, but I haven't managed to reconnect with them. If it was them. Doctors? I'm not so sure. But they told me to look for a place with flames if I needed any help. Flames? Oh, you're back. This girl has helped me so much. She's infected too, so take her with you for an examination.
Oh, look, it's another reunion.
So it's you. Yes. It's been a long time, Chen.
Ooh. The artisans who carved the giant statues here many years ago could never have imagined the guards of the royal mausoleum would collapse into rubble due to the Sarkas, instead of standing for eternity together with Victoria. The Fernwood skeleton emerges from deep underground, landing with a few lucky survivors. Ines, where are we?
It's too quiet. We're not on a battlefield. Ines! Ines!
Ines! Ines! Hodor's awake!
Paprika. Where are we? Where's Ines and W? What's become of the battlefield now? They recaptured the lifeboat already?
We're currently underground with many stone giants. Ines is... W went with the others. Wait, hold on. That's too many questions at once.
You've recovered quicker than I thought. I thought he'd be more ruthless with you. What of him? Who knows? Ascalon might have already killed him. Don't give me that look. It's good for us if he's really dead.
But Ines...
Paprika, now's not the time.
Okay.
Currently, we've stopped the lifeboat in the Mausoleum of Kings. W followed the doctor and the others to stop the airship. And we don't know how they're doing. The Mausoleum of Kings, are you sure? I recognize the Steam Knight's equipment. There's also plenty of Sarkas remains here, so if my hunch is right. This is where the Steam Knights were surrounded and killed back then. Any other clues? I did find something. Take a look.
This is... clothing?
Found it on a relatively intact Sarkas skeleton. I thought it might jog your memories.
There's a word embroidered in the lining.
Julie?
Aw. Oh, Julie. Julie? Hodor, did you know them? Yeah. Hodor shakes his head.
There aren't many Sarkas with names. There's no anybody involved in slaughter. Here was ordinary. She left her name here, and it should have stayed undiscovered forever. But we chanced upon her. What she and others did here will ultimately be remembered by us.
But it sounds like it wasn't something to be happy about.
We already have more than enough of our own buried here. Buried in this foreign country after all. How many of them can we remember when everything's over? So what's next? Your injury.
Wizadel. War. Ended. Live. This is babble.
Wizadel? Who? That sounded like W. Humph. What's she up to this time? Have we received any more intelligence from outside the battlefield?
Shakes head nervously.
I fear we might have missed out on something very important. Grr, he really did try to kill me. Give yourself some time to heal. I won't die just yet. Our top priority is to contact the doctor in W. If she wasn't lying in that transmission, then she really needs us now. It seems like the battle has gone way past how I expected it to go. Regent, Theresa, what exactly have you two done?
Hodera, you missed so much while sleeping. Kelsey, the backup plan is working. We escaped to the underground passage, covered by the chaos of the airship's crash landing. The backup plan's working.
We went through so much in the assimilated universe, but originium's special nature means we were only gone for a brief moment. This will likewise be a sudden change for the military commission.
It could be a chance for us.
Indeed. Communications are being restored, and the Ducal Alliance will speed up their advance. I don't think the military commission will stand a chance against the surrounding offensive from the Alliance. A proactive attack from us might bring greater results if we rely on the contact points within the city she strived to preserve.
It was only because she put herself in danger during this time that our backup plan managed to proceed without a hitch.
She did well.
Oh, Heidi! I would love to hear from Kelsey in private about what your group went through, but it really isn't the best time for that. To be honest, it was all I could do to bring you out of the chaos. Many of those in the city saw the airship crash, and everyone has been guessing who's done it. Doctor, you might find it hard to imagine the joy when you suddenly see hope within the long, dark night. It sounds like it'll benefit our operations in the city.
I wouldn't call it a benefit. At most it means no more possibilities for us. Heidi, how did contacting closure go?
Communications are still being restored, and the city is taking a big hit. We're pressed for time too. No, she insisted I call her Wizardel. She said that she received a transmission from her subordinates, and took off to verify it. I couldn't stop her.
No matter. She knows very well what she should be doing. Also, check your belongings. She must have left a way for us to contact her.
Huh? There really is. When did she leave this beacon on me? That's very much her style of doing things. Oops. How are Mia and Logos doing? The next area hasn't been swept clear yet. Once we confirm it's safe, we'll evacuate to the next safe point at once. Doctor, Mia, Don't worry about her. She just needs some time. Alright, I'll try my best to get in touch with more of our friends inside the city. We'll need their help. I also just compiled all the information we know. Think that data with closure once you manage to contact with her. I also uploaded arrangements for the other Rhodes Island operators onto PRTS. Tell them to update their PRTS as soon as they can so everyone's on the same page. Seizing the opportunity? Yes. Currently, every faction in Londinium has their own blind spots. It's a chance for us to buy time and react to anything in advance. Yeah, it's a chance for us to buy time. Hello? Understood. I'll handle it. I'm the one most familiar with the rebuilt intra-city network after all.
You may not have noticed, Doctor, but you've become more proactive ever since we left the assimilated universe.
Is that so?
Is it due to the first originium? You've become somewhat impatient ever since you met Theresa and learned some truths I'm unable to speak of.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I still have my own reservations about what's important now is to stay clear-headed and make your own judgments.
Why did I betray Theresa back then?
Only Theresa knows the truth to that. I will not make any further comments on the incident, but it does not mean my anger towards that event is no more. However, Doctor, you have proven yourself to me, to us. You have walked in the same path as us to where we are today. That's enough to prove that Theresa has made the right decision. So there's no need to be trapped by your past self. Besides, You know absolutely nothing about everything that happened then.
That's precisely why I can't comprehend Theresa's choice at all. But from her few sentences, I have a suspicion that fills me with fear. I have a guess as to what my own mission is. I have a suspicion that fills me with fear. I am a savior of this land. I am a destroyer of this land.
Can you really say that now with such a calm tone? You're hesitating. You have doubts. That was never your true self. Do not let unwarranted speculation disturb your present determination. We determine who we are by our actions than our words, no matter how long we spend hesitating before we reach the end. The future will answer me, Doctor. I am now more willing to follow you down your path. We will witness it together. But now, our key focus should be on the thing that can turn the tides of war.
The first originium, Omninam.
Theresa will only hand it over to someone she trusts the most. No matter how the Sarkas are faring, Theresa's trust towards Theresa has never changed. They have never truly diverged from one another. What we currently face is still within the scope of their plan.
Theresa's.
We have unfinished tasks to get to. We don't know what Theresa's plans to do with this weapon that can easily change this land. There is no reason to believe it will not be a gentle method.
We need to stop him. Do I believe in the Theresa that believed in Theresa's? No. I don't believe in Theresa's. No offense to Theresa's. I don't care for that dude. Originium has something to do with me. I can't absolve myself from the atrocities that happen in Londinium either. Perhaps this is my mission. Oh, this could be my mission. Did you just smile at me? Who are you and what have you done with Kelsey?
No. Now, have you decided our next course of action, Doctor?
Ha! I have a rough idea in mind. I'll need your help. Holy cow, there was a lot left of the story. Absolved will be the Seeker's end. But is it really the end? Now the Sarkas have only one chance left to make Theresa. Yes, our people already made their choice. I will fulfill the promise made between us. I will help you. Why did you sigh? I know if I won, you would stand by my side without a shred of hesitation. Isn't that right? Theresa's. Theresa's can no longer hear her voice. She is gone. But her answer to the future remains. The first originium fell from the Shard's peak, traversed the barrier, and landed in the palace of Westhaleg's subterranean throne room. The answer already lies in the palm of his hand. Ooh, shiny.
You wrested the key to freedom for the Sarkas from its arrogant creator, as you promised me you would. But I lost you completely. Theresa, you fulfilled your promise, so how could I resign myself to walk in your shadow? I will continue ahead in the path you were halfway through to the end. To retrieve what is ours from those who believe they dictate our fate. I shall judge the arrogant sin, and this land ought to revere us.
This war to him has already ended. And as for the future, the rest will bear witness. He ignores the ancient seat of Victorian kings caked in dust, and steps into an unknowable darkness. Theresa has already opened for him the door to the truth. He looks forward to what he'll find beyond that door. Who will be there to welcome him? I have a question, phantom of a bygone age, who boasts yourself a giant, a god, a supreme creator, one who can dictate the fate of the Sarkas. Are you truly the only one of your kind? Dr. Misaki. At this point, Dr. Misaki's just a gotcha addict. Secret place. Yay! Civila Eterna. That was the shortest summoning thing. Hey. Okay, EG/6. Lingering mercy, the future of sailing upon a gentler land belongs to all of you. Brightness. This is an eternal journey, one that promises to never end. The myriad souls have long since fallen to silence, their forms nearly worn away by the ravages of time. Only their king still moves forward for the sake of them all. Theresa has no intention of stopping. She has traveled into the depths of Civilite Eterna several times in the past, but this time her wanderings are slightly different. She no longer stops to draw from the vast sea of knowledge within. She is merely here to see. To use her own eyes for the one last time, to see the people and affairs of the lands. To see what happens, or perhaps what has not yet happened. Ooh! Fremont and his fancy beard.
So in the end, she managed to make it this far. Now what should I praise Her Highness for? Her stubbornness, or incredible talents? Pah, forget it. No matter if I scold her or praise her, the myriad souls wouldn't be able to hear it. Let us put the situation in Victoria aside for the moment. Theresa's and his Salem will sort out that mess. Next we have, the military commission spies all stuffed into Wassaland spires. They're itching to pit the goats and cats against one another as soon as they can, all so that they can avert their eyes from Casdell. Keep your threads tidy, damn you! Remember, we too will be scurrying out of here forthwith. That boastful sheep is unlikely to tolerate us lurking about underneath her nose any longer. I've already grumbled to Lacquer Maline about how that pair of siblings is far too radical. They'll have all sorts of trouble breathing down our necks soon. Mark my words. You'd best to make haste on your work in Casdell, Ermengarde. If Theresa's plan does not completely succeed, the armies of Victoria, no, Nathanian, and the other nations of the core will immediately march on Casdell. We must inherit the legacy of Babel and protect that city. We must not let what happened 200 years ago repeat itself once more. Wait, did the thread just move? Was it you, Ermengarde? I see. Hope, I truly dislike having to hear that word, but it does seem like a path forward is open for us. Isn't that right, Your Highness?
Theresa sees the tiniest of smiles break through the elderly lich's solemn visage. She loosens the transparent thread running through the depths of the void, giving her old friend a nod as he paused his complaints for a moment before setting off for even more distant lands. Ooh! That shadow has changed. This I see.
Yet another ill omen of yours?
Not completely.
For seeking me out to inform me of what you have foreseen. You have my thanks. But my mind isn't changed. The taint that the demons bring with them is spreading. And if all we can do is move south over and over again, Sami is doomed to be drowned in that filth.
Even if everything I see pertaining to your future ends in tragedy?
I always knew it well. As early as the time I became a snow priest. No, ever since I was born on this ice field, ever since I became a Sami warrior, I knew what my end would be. I do not fear death. I do not fear the demon stealing my body, turning me into an enemy that sows corruption with every step. There will be younger warriors following my footsteps, heading for the furthest reaches of the north. If by some misfortune we were to meet, they will use their bows and staves to cleanse my body of its stains. The will to protect Sami will not so easily die out. It is thanks to this I do not consider this outcome a tragedy.
If that is the case, then, good fortune to you, Expeditioner.
Please, take this.
A full dartle?
A parting gift. I have heard that most of the Cyclops clans have decided to leave Sami, but you have chosen to stay behind.
There was a prophecy about the survival of this land. I must make it manifest.
Sami will thank you for your for your many years of toil, Sarkaz. You've shared your foresight with me, so in turn I will grant you the sound I've heard.
Mm-hmm. A horn resounds across the ice field. It is a signal from the expedition, and also a way to greet the others across great distances. Perhaps the Cyclops will not return to Casdell, for this frozen land is already her home. Theresa's gaze overlaps with Argus's. She looks at the wondrous pattern inscribed upon the wood given to her by the Snow Priest. Ixlun. Flora and fauna flourish and fall. Last ye ever long.
Found it. These readings, it's definitely near. Watch your step. My calculations can't be wrong. We're standing on the greatest archaeological discovery in Colombia. No, in all the nations.
What they just came across. Does it happen to be like an ancient supercomputer AI thing that's gonna become Kristen's best friend?
So, how should we go about digging a hole as fast as possible? I'd like to send myself down there alongside some energy cables. Miriam will be happy. He would definitely prefer we explore and excavate with more care.
Ooh, hello.
But who asked him to go north and never return? The engineering section's in charge of this. My crew already began work before I notified you. Very good. Would you mind if I'm the first one down?
I know, right? How did I know? It's like I can read the future or something.
In sarcasm, guard. Oh, you rarely ever use incantations during your work. I have to make sure that people around me don't go fainting at the sight of some sarcasm parlor tricks. I should probably give you the whole safety procedure spiel, Control, but I doubt you're in any mind to listen. The military and the mainlanders will be here soon. Whatever you're hoping to find, you will need to make it quick. I will. Before my eyes are blinded by the shroud of death, I must see all that I wish to see.
Theresa sees. Time moves forward once more. By a stitch, she can feel this place reject her. She thinks back many years ago to the first time she drew near to the heart of the Rhodes Island landship alongside Kelsey. This place is similar. A place she's never set foot upon. A divine residence.
That cute little being has just left. But then in comes another intruder. Oh, perhaps not? Within these ripples of data tagging along behind you, I sense something unfamiliar to me. Perhaps you were like me, someone left behind in the past, a spirit with no choice but to struggle through an age not your own. Not of your own.
Oh, hello, how's it going? Pretty good. I'm determined to catch up to the story. I'm getting really hungry though, but it's okay. I have like an hour of rest before my next stream after this.
What has kept you going on your long sojourn? Perhaps a feeble dim hope like mine? Or perhaps the cherished memories of kin you cannot see any longer?
Ooh, now the ocean.
Take care around my lance, Dr. Kelsey. It may tear your paper skin. No matter. There is nothing below the surface of the sea worthy of your attention at this point in time. What is it that you have fixed your gaze upon? A few memories, that's all. I once believed that Ager was far removed from this land, that the problems it faced were on a different kind to ours. But perhaps, I might not have been completely correct. I'm surprised to see you question yourself. I merely do not wish to arrive late a second time. If the ocean's troubles are not so independent on the lands, then the threats that we face may intersect with one another. This would be a situation worse than our prior worst-case scenarios. Luckily, We have the opportunity to seize the initiative before the crisis detonates. I hope that you can keep that level of confidence when you accompany me on my return to Ager. The ones I trust are the hunters, Gladia. A most amusing pretense. The abyssal hunters have emerged from the sea floor onto dry land, and now they prepare to return. I have seen you all change along your journey. Change. Not quite what I expected. You will find yourselves back at your starting point. No matter if it is you, Scotty, or Spectre, or your colleague who chose to walk along his own path of life. Ulpianus. Best make yourselves ready. When the time comes, you will find yourselves with different perspectives on Ager, on the sea and the land, and on the calamities we must face together. This is far more valuable than any physical bridge between your peoples.
Motes of light float above the water surface, casting clear shadows beneath them, just like the bridge that Kelsey spoke of. Theresa steps atop the bridge, spanning the void. Time speeds up, the waves matching its speed, and she finds it difficult to control how her consciousness advances. Kelsey. Theresa tries her best to turn her head, to look upon her friend, and her friend's friends, new and old, standing behind her. Until they emerge together with motes of light. I'm excited for the next event. The motes expand. The former king of Sarkaz finds herself standing in the middle of a church, bathing in the purest light, a holy light. She stands face to face with the Sancta Pope, his bright halo ringing his head. The young messenger met by chance by the riverside, the gentle old man in front of the church windows. She remembers him, and time has not changed her judgment. I still love the way he braids his beard.
It has been quite a while since the new names have emerged. Is that a good thing? We've had many new saints within a few short years. With some of their number, I found myself hard-pressed to agree on their appointment. We still do not know what role these saints will play in the future. Since there have been no further saints chosen, Your Holiness, does this mean that the crisis may have already passed? You are very optimistic. I hope that our Laterano can stay as optimistic as you for a very long time.
It is cute that she's able to go on one last adventure.
However, it has never fallen silent in the past. Ugh! Your Holiness, for a moment, I wasn't able to feel. No, how could this be?
The light dies out. First a Lateran, then an entire city block. From the Tower of Revelations to the Notarial Hall in Pagus Michelian, then on to the Sunset Chapel in Pagus Saint Marcel, then the Chapel Square. It all plunges into darkness. It is swift, it is chaotic, it cannot be held back. The ice field, the ocean, the land. All the signs foretell the suffering that the people of tomorrow will face, just like the suffering she has seen many a time within Civilite Eterna. She emerges from the darkness, soft golden sands shift beneath her feet. Ruins, crystal clusters, sand dunes, everything before her eyes looks strange and unfamiliar. Raising her head above the sandy squall, she feels the presence of that lonely girl. The one walking right towards her, her figure wrapped in a cloak. The girl raises her hood. Originium blooms under the girl's feet like marks in the snow. Theresa sees her rhomboid pupils. You are... The sands sweep across her view, covering her eyes. Ooh. This is not the end, but this is the furthest that Theresa can go. The darkness presses in on her, barring her way forward. It covers her eyes, smothers her thoughts. Only her passionate emotions remain, still echoing through the eternal darkness. She once held countless questions as she walked upon her journey, but once she reached her end, all that she desired was a simple answer. Pretty. In these futures, and perhaps ones even further away, are the people I love still there? Theresa urgently searches, turning towards the only light within the darkness. She's found the answer. I'm gonna guess that the answer is yes. If it's no, that's mean. That was a nice end. Very, very nice. So I do wonder how the next episode will be once that comes out. Gosh darn it. Duke of Wellington, guys. Duke of Wellington and Blana, they're gonna be terrifying together. At the same time, I want to see what chaos they cause. Like, that's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a sight. Alright. I'm happy for the ending with Theresa. That was nice with her, Amiya, Wizardel, Kelsey, and even us. Good night, Theresa. I hope you have a nice rest. Yeah, they did it nice. They did super nice. And now we have Civila Eterna Phantom. I'll treat her nice. Look at Secret Place. I'm happy that I got a Phantom. What's this? Oh, okay.
アーミヤは眠っている時でも両耳が動くのね。アーミヤ、
Cute.
相談もせず勝手に決めてごめんなさい。でも私たちの出会いはきっとあなたが嫌いな未来を変えられるはずよ。私はそう信じているわ。よく考えるの。あなたはこれから誰と共に歩み、どのような未来を選ぶのかしらって。バベルはあなたたちの温かい
I like how they left a message here.
養路から取り出した小さな火花はいつの日かきっと多くの人にぬくもりを届けるでしょう。
Okay, Secret Place is definitely worth it.
私は残された時間をあなたと一緒に過ごすわ。あなたの成長に寄り添い、一緒にこの大地を見て回る。少し疲れたみたい。アーミヤ、ベッドをちょっと借りるわね。おやすみなさい、アーミヤ。
Good night, Theresa. Good night. That's a nice way to end it. With a nice message from Theresa, our home. Good night, Theresa. But it's not the rest of the night for me yet. The night has only just begun. But I do need to eat food before the next stream. I hope dinner's ready, and if it's not, gosh darn it. It's okay though. Worst case, I will eat cup noodles. And then I can have turkey and whatnot for a midnight snack or something. I don't know. I'll find out later. And I also gotta download the next game. What was my favorite moment from this stream? I like the hug. The hug was cute between Theresa, Amiya, Kelsey, and W. That was nice. Super duper nice. Super wholesome. And yes, truly the Doctor special. Yeah, you're right. Boiling water and noodles. That is also my go-to meal when I'm feeling kind of lazy anyways. But yay, I'm glad that I actually got this in the end and that OBS-kun was semi-nice. It's semi-nice. No disconnections this time. Makes me really happy about that. That kind of scared me last time, but it's okay, you know? Did it. Woohoo! Super duper good luck for the Umu banner. And FGO. But yeah, I'll be back in about an hour or so for YouTube and Twitch. I gotta download That one game that I was gonna play today, and then make my stream lobby. I hope I have enough time for that. So with that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day in epic gacha luck. I gotta download that Thank Goodness You're Here game. Yeah, that game in about an hour. I gotta download that while eating food. So I'll see you guys later. I need sustenance. Tell me hungry. Bye-bye. I do need food, Rose. If it's not ready, sadness. Gosh darn it.